Well, let's talk briefly about transitioning from Blackstock to Vanderbilt. And we were at that time on Tomorrow Way. We purchased an old house and renovated that house, and I found a box behind Sam's Club that they'd given me as a pulpit.
Yes.
And it was huge, and we could seat maybe 45 or 50 people.
Yes.
And I used to laugh and say, okay, at the close of the service, the preaching today, you got to have a number if you want to fall out.
That's right.
Because there's not enough room for everybody to fall out. So you have to pull numbers so we can fall out.
And we can get out the way.
And we'll get out the way. And truly the Lord would come in and people would be slain. But during that time, the Lord spoke to us when we were in Florida. And the Lord told me that He was going to move us, that we were going to leave that location. And I had a dream. And in the vision, I saw the inside of the church building. And I saw the color, the chairs. And I'd met a friend from Atlanta.
Yes.
And he and I, praise God, had bonded doing a worship service. And we went down and ordered chairs. And I ordered burgundy chairs for the church that the Lord was going to give unto us.
Yes. 150 chairs.
I ordered 150 chairs. We came back to Spartanburg, and on that Sunday morning, I told the church, the Lord said that we'd get ready to move. And we chanted. We said to the walls, you've been good. We said to the ceiling, you've been good. Floor, you've been good. But we get ready to move. Unbeknown to us, there was a lady that was in our church that had never been before. She was visiting.
Yes.
And she worked for the city parks and recreation department. And on that Monday following, she called me and she said, Pastor Quick, you do not know me, but I was in your service yesterday, and I heard that you said the Lord had given you a church. She said, there's a church that just went on the market, and she told me who it was at. It was on Vanderbilt. It was a former Jehovah's Witness hall. And I went over and saw it. I called the gentleman. He came out, and when we showed it to him, the amazing thing about it was that it was just like what I'd seen in the vision. And I purchased chairs, and the chairs that were in there at the present time were just like the chairs, same color that I purchased.
Yes.
And when I asked the gentleman what was he going to leave upon selling the church, he said, I have to take the chairs. And I knew then that this was the place that God had for us.
Amen.
And so we were able to purchase that building by miracle.
Yes.
And I'd like to share this with you. At the time, being a new church, no one wanted to loan us any money.
Nope.
Because we were not established. We didn't have an established membership, and we didn't own a graveyard. That was one of the things that they wanted to qualify us for was, does your church have a graveyard? And we knew the wisdom of that for the bank, but we couldn't qualify. So only place that I was really credible at the time was in North Carolina.
Yes.
So I went back to North Carolina to the bank that had funded 2 of our churches there, and I asked them, I said, do you loan money across state lines for the building of churches? And the gentleman who knew me very well said, well, Reverend Quick, where are you at? And I said, I'm in Spartanburg. And he said, well, we have just opened a branch in Spartanburg. He got on the phone, he called the loan officer at the branch in Spartanburg and said, I'm sending you a gentleman who is good as gold. He said, give him what he needs.
God moved us around the corner to the house we were talking about in April of '93, and we stayed there until November of '94, which is the time that we moved on to Vanderbilt. So quickly, in 2 years, this was our 3rd building.
And our own building.
Our own building.
And it was sufficient for us.
Oh, yes.
And God filled it.